Hey guys, I did a poll last month asking what version of Minecraft you're playing, and I got close to 1,000 responses. It turns out that more of you are playing on Minecraft 1.16 with Forge than Forge 1.17 and 18 combined. So in this video, I wanted to cover some Minecraft 1.16.5 mods that are relatively new and that you might have missed over the past 3 months. If you're playing with Towers of the Wild, a mod that I've mentioned countless of times on my channel, then check out this mod called Towers of the Wild Additions. Originally, you could only find towers spawning in the overworld, but thanks to additions, you'll now find them spawning in both the nether and end dimensions, with them both being themed appropriately. If you're using the Waystones mod, you'll still find them spawning on these new towers too. Likewise, an expansion was released for Mr. Crayfish's gun mod, if you're using that. It's called Mo Guns and will give you access to 10 new weapons like the Thompson, Famous, M1 Garand, M16, and the Scar. You'll have access to these weapons the same way you normally would, which is through the workbench. The mod also includes a new reflex sight which can be attached to some weapons. We Got Runners brings updates to zombies. Instantly, you'll notice that if a zombie is on fire, then it will be given a higher movement speed. Regular zombies will randomly sprint at times, which helps to remove their repetitiveness and give them different paths. But zombies have different AI anyway, so you can even come across zombies who are runners and will be able to sprint indefinitely. There's a few other minor changes to other mechanics, and this mod would go great in your zombie apocalypse pack. Tardim allows you to build your very own TARDIS, and it's not too difficult to craft either. Once you head inside, you'll find yourself in this room, which is filled with different controls. They allow you to change the location of your TARDIS through all the different dimensions. The TARDIS requires fuel too, which requires items like coal. It can be filled at the hopper. All these different buttons and levers have their own controls, which you can choose to customize. And there's a computer where you can input other commands like locating players, teleporting home, and more. The recipe does involve Dragon's Breath, so you don't have to worry about the mod letting you bypass the nether and end progression system. The Belt mod adds 3 new belts, and they can all be crafted from different amounts of slime balls. The first is the Holding Belt, and when in your hand, it will give you the Regeneration 2 effect. The Sharp Belt will give you the Strength 2 effect when it's held instead, and you can hold each one of these items in your main hand and offhand slots. The final item is the Wearable Belt, which can be equipped and will provide you with Haste 2, making it great for going mining with. Magitek Mechs adds some new mechanical equipment, which have different purposes. The first example is Tunnel Armor, which can be placed down. Then you jump inside. When activated, it will break the blocks in front, creating a tunnel. Machines will require a Magicite too, which can be crafted or found as well as fuel. There's also Pronto Armor and Magitek Armor, and the Magitek Armor can fire beams, which sets blocks on fire. Ambient Addition adds around 25 new creatures to your world, which includes fruit bats, beetles, armadillos, chameleons, corgis, lemurs, snails, crabs, and more. A few of them can be tamed too, like corgis, which can be fed pumpkin pie. The mod is going to add more ambience to your world, and you can capture the creatures inside of crates. You'll need to craft a blowgun and darts and use it on these new animals to slow them down. Then when you use the crate on them, you'll be able to capture them. Autumn Vibes was released near Halloween and adds some fall-themed biomes to your world. You can come across the Autumn Fields, Autumn Forests, and Highland Autumn Forest biomes, which all feature some reddish-colored leaves, lots of pumpkins, and flowered cobblestone blocks. If you take a pumpkin into a stone cutter, you'll see there's quite a few new designs available, and these can be combined with a torch to turn them into jack-o'-lanterns. Tomes adds 3 new blocks, which are the Archaic, Living, and Cursed Tome. They're quite simple to craft, and each one requires a different heart, which can be obtained from zombies, villagers, and witches. For them to be useful, you'll need to enchant them. That way they can receive some different passive and active effects, with each tome having unique effects. Passive abilities will always be active when the tome is in your main or offhand slot, whereas active effects can be used by right-clicking. Some of the active effects will launch you into the air, grow any nearby crops, or summon a spectral steed. I did come across an updated version of Minecraft Comes Alive, but it's not by the same developers. It gives more life to villagers, as you can now talk with them, exchange gifts, and build relationships. Eventually, you can marry a villager of your choice and have children. It's also your responsibility to manage a village, so that it becomes stronger. You can add new buildings, increase your rank, and even implement measures like taxes and birth rates. Goblins and Dungeons is inspired by the likes of Dungeons and Dragons, and it introduces new locations into your world, which are different camps and keeps. These areas are controlled by hostile goblins, who all look very different. Some fight with melee, and some use archery. There's even the ogre mini-boss. If you come across the Goblin King boss, then you'll see that they use magic and can teleport around. All these creatures look great and will enhance the RPG feeling of the game, especially with the new rings that give some different effects. Sometimes you'll come across mimics too. Sulfar is a new ingredient, and you can only obtain it inside the Nether. It's an alternative to coal and can be used in all recipes that use coal. Sulfar is better than coal, as it will smelt 10 items instead of 8 and create 5 torches instead of 4. It can also be used to make fire charges, and 4 sulfar can be turned into blaze powder, which might save you some time from killing blaze. Sulfar can be turned into a sulfar block, which turns into lava after some time. You can use the chalk mod to make sure that you never get lost. With it in your hand, you can right-click different parts of a block, which will draw directional arrows. Or you can sneak and right-click to draw an X. If you have glowstone dust, then you can use it on your chalk to make it light up, which will be especially useful underground. A mod that overhauls most of Minecraft's biomes is Hals Enchanted Biomes. You'll notice tons of changes, mostly in the form of new tree types, which really transform a lot of biomes. Ground variation is changed a lot too, as the mod introduces leaf carpets, which really help the world feel more natural. Going through locations like swamps, you'll find that they're a lot more dense, with them feeling more overgrown. Some of the more dramatic changes come to the end, which is now filled with large colorful tree structures made up of glass. Everything's just going to be a lot more interesting to walk through overall. Little More Creatures is another mod that adds new animals to your world, with this one adding over 20. It includes hedgehogs, roosters, lizards, crocodiles, rats, and raccoons. But there's also some fantasy-themed creatures, like the moo bloom, creep cactus, and creep shroom. A lot of the creatures in this pack are created for ambience, meaning they don't offer much in the way of mechanics or special drops, but they still make a great addition to your world. And you can tame the creep cactus by feeding it sugarcane, so it can follow you along on adventures. Tabulated chests are a new type of chest, and they can be crafted with 4 planks and 4 logs. I think this mod is incredibly useful, as when you open it up, you'll see that it has tabs. It allows you to store lots of different items in a more organized way. If you add chests into the slot on the right, then you can add more tabs. You can change the icon too, so that you know where everything is stored. Aquamirae is a really interesting mod and feels like its own miniature story game. With it installed, you'll have a new area in your world called the Ice Maze. When you head to this location, there's lots to discover, such as camps held by illagers, as well as ships that once ruled the waves and are now frozen in time. As you progress through the mod, you'll discover new locations and take part in a boss fight to collect some exclusive loot. There's armor which allows you to breathe underwater, as well as weapons which have special abilities like poisoning hit targets. It's definitely worth checking out. Young's Bridges is relatively new, and I did mention it in my Fallout video. It adds naturally generating bridges into Minecraft, with there currently being around 15 different types, with them also having biome-specific variants. Throughout your world, you'll now find bridges spawning over lakes, and I personally like to increase the spawn rate of them. This mod adds the Mangrove Swamp biome, a location coming in the next Minecraft update. Inside the biome, you'll find mangrove trees, which have their own leaves, logs, and planks. When it comes to creatures, you can find tadpoles swimming in the water, and they can be collected in buckets. and there's also 3 different types of frogs. Matter of Form is another biome mod, with this one adding close to 70 new biomes to the overworld. With all the different biomes and new trees, there's 38 new wood types, which gives more choices for decorating your builds. Some biomes are more rare to come across too. Currently, the developer has only worked on overworld stuff, but I can see in the mod's comments that they mentioned a potential nether add-on in the future, and it's nowhere near complete either, as more biomes are being added with every update, with some creatures too, as it currently features ducks, moo blooms, and sprouts. So keep an eye on this one if you're looking for another biome mod. I haven't scratched the surface of mods for 1.16.5, so I'll probably do another video like this soon. In the meantime, I've got lots of 1.16.5 videos on my channel already, which you might be interested in. If you want more like this, make sure to subscribe too.